What's up, fam? It's your girl Ike here. Sorry, my voice is a little bit scratchy. It was a nice weekend. Anyway, I wanted to come on because I've been getting a couple of posts about men who are paying child support for kids who are not theirs. And so let's talk about how that can happen, right? Because nobody wants to pay for a kid that's not theirs, but it is possible, and it does happen probably more often than you think, that a man is charged with paying child support for a child that isn't his. How does this happen? There's a couple of different scenarios, but first let me just go over the scenarios in which it really doesn't have anything to do with the participation of the man, okay? So let's say there are a lot of people who are married and just don't feel like going through the rigmarole of getting a divorce, right? And so you are married to some woman, fellas, this is for you, who you haven't seen in a while. It's no big deal. It doesn't affect my life. We just married on paper. It's no big deal. Okay, so here's the problem. So this woman you're married to, she moves on with her life. She meets Joe Schmo. They get it popping. She gets pregnant. He slides to the left. So now she's got a kid on the way. She has that kid. Guess who the government is going to look at as the father? Yes, you, Mr. Husband. It doesn't matter that you haven't had sex with this woman and that's not your biological child, because the law says that a husband is presumed to be the father of his wife's children. Okay, Ike, what do you mean presumed? Presumed meaning that's what the presumption is that that's your kid. Now, you can overcome the presumption. It's not irrebuttable. It's not irrefutable, right? But you actually have to do something at that stage. And usually, if you haven't had contact with a woman, you probably don't even know that she had a kid until, since Joe Schmo slid off, she goes to apply for social services, right? So she goes to get benefits, she goes to get Medicaid, or she goes to get food stamps, or whatever the case may be. When she makes that application, the commissioner of social services is going to look at it and go, I got a mom, where's the dad? And you know who they're going to come after? They're going to come after you, the husband. It doesn't matter that you're not the biological father. You are the husband of this woman, and it is presumed that you are the father, unless you rebut that presumption, which you probably won't rebut that presumption because you don't even know that there's a kid somewhere. Next thing you know, your check is being garnished for a kid you never met. Okay, so how do you fix that? Tie up your loose ends, fellas. There's no reason for you to still be married to a woman who you have no intention on spending the rest of your life with. Get the divorce, okay? There's another way that this could happen, where you could be caught up there paying for children that aren't yours, right? Let's say you were dealing with a woman who decided to tell social services that you were her children's father, although you're not. Maybe she's an ex-girlfriend. Maybe she's somebody who you used to date, and you guys broke up, and now she has a kid. She goes to social services and she gives them your name. Maybe she doesn't want to give them the name of her real father, her children's real father. Maybe he's fucking crazy. I don't know. But somehow your name gets down there, and there's a summons that appears at your house for court on a child support case, and you looking at the summons like, I ain't got no kids, or this is not my kid, and you think, I don't gotta go, this must be a mistake. And so you don't go, right? So you don't go to court. This is your inaction. Again, guess what happens? The judge is not gonna say, oh, he's not the father. The judge is gonna say, oh, default judgment. Default judgment, meaning that there will be an order issued in favor of the custodial parent based on the needs of the child, and there will be an income execution order against you because you failed to show up. You failed to come to court and refute. You failed to come to court and say, hey, judge, that's not my kid. All right, so here's the third way, and I'm sure that there's a lot of ways, but these, and they might fall under this umbrella. I can't cover every damn thing in 3-4 minutes. The other way is you are dealing with a woman. Let's say you're dealing with a woman, and you to meet when her child is very young, right? And you all have every intention to be a family, and you hold yourself out to be a parent to that child. You hold yourself out to be that child's father. You do fatherly things. You go to parent teachers. You do all that shit, and then you break up with old girl, right? She might go down to child support and put you down as the father. And you show up in court and like, yeah, I'm not the father, right? I'm not the biological father. Well, the court could look at all you've done in the past 10 years, let's say. And the court could say, you have been a psychological parent to this child. And as a result of that fact, you can't now abdicate your responsibilities as a parent. And then you are paying child support for a child that is not your biological child, but for a child that you have held yourself out to be their parent. All right, so you got to tie up those loose ends, because this can happen to anyone. I've seen it happen a lot of, and I'm seeing more and more articles be posted about it. If you are married and you're not with that woman anymore, get a divorce. You got to do it. If you get court papers for a child that's not yours, go to court. Otherwise, there's a default judgment and you're going to be jammed up. Okay? If you are dealing with a woman who has a small child and you all break up, you need to make sure that you have some communication with her, that you don't have any intention to continue on being an parent. Maybe you do, but you don't want the financial obligation. You can't have it both ways. Okay? I hope this helped, because I've seen some people posting on my page and I like to try to respond. I hate that the videos are getting longer and longer, but the topics are more complex. And you know what? We got to talk about these things, because men are coming in and they pissed off, and they should be pissed off. But most of the problems that they find themselves in is because they fail to act, unfortunately. All right, we'll come back. I'll talk some more about child support. I know it's a lot of fathers out there that would like for me to talk about how unfair the system is to them. I will have those videos coming, but I wanted to talk about this one because this is front and center on my page right now. Okay, I hope it helps. Y'all know I love you. Ike Speaks. I love you. I really do. Have a blessed day.